Hello and welcome everyone to the end of the third German turn of my solo playthrough of the recently released game called Blitz in the East by Vento Novo Games. And as you can see, there's been quite a lot going on. In Leningrad, well, the Germans and the Finns have got it pretty much surrounded, but they haven't been able to take it yet. The strength of the unit in Leningrad, because the fortress is tripled, and I'll spare you all the details, but it's still quite difficult to actually take the city. In Moscow, the Germans have been more fortunate, and they have actually captured the city. This game comes with several different types of scenario with several benefits for the Axis side. If you pick the most difficult one, which is the campaign scenario, the units here in the south, they're not here now, but it's basically many of these units over here that start the game over here. They start with some restrictions, as they did historically, and you also have some optional rules, which means that, for instance, the Romanians and the Hungarians can work together, and they can share the same hex, that kind of thing. This scenario, the Barbarossa scenario, I'm playing it as written without any optional rules. And that makes it somewhat easier. Also, this Hungarian unit normally would be frozen until turn 6 or something, so it wouldn't actually be released until 1942, or perhaps it's not released at all unless Hungary is attacked or something like that. And, so that kind of makes it easier for the Axis to achieve enormous successes than in the campaign game and historically, I suppose. Actually, I like that. I'll come back to that when I do a short review of the game, which will still be a while. I would like to play the campaign scenario first at least once. But I like these things. It makes the game fresh every time you play it. Yeah, and there are also a couple of what ifs. I mean, what if the Axis miners had cooperated better, that kind of thing, and what if forces hadn't been diverted to deal with Kiev but headed straight for Moscow, stuff like that. Well, anyway, Moscow was taken. That is not necessarily the end of the scenario, though. Although I suppose, because also if we move south, we can see that Rostov has also been taken. It's also worth 4 points for final victory calculation. I might have actually thrown, well, it's the end of turn 3, but I've already captured 2 turn 4 cities, so I might even capture perhaps Sebastopol on the 4th turn as well, so that could be another potential win for the Germans if they roll a 4 or less. As far as the 3 cities go, and then I would have had to roll a 3 or less at the end of the scenario, at the end of the turn. But I do have Tula. I also have, where's the other turn 3? Kharkov, even though I already had it at the end of turn 2, I believe. But I don't have Leningrad, so I don't get to roll now. But who knows, I might get to roll at turn 4, and if I can hold on to these cities, I haven't actually done the math yet, but it looks like the Germans easily, well, I don't know if they pull out an absolute win, but they should do better than last time, which is when they had 13 points, which was a draw, I believe. But they need 21 or something like that to actually win. So we'll see how that goes. But having captured both Rostov and Moscow should go a long way towards that. And I'm somewhat confident. Well, then again, the last turn, and we'll still get the Soviet turn, and the last turn is actually a bad weather turn, so it makes it much more difficult. So Sebastopol might still prove impossible, but we'll see. Anyway, thanks again for watching, and see you after the next one.